Galvez, and I'm running for seat number 2. It's an open seat. This isn't my first time running for elected office. I ran in 2002 and then again in 2004 for the Chula Vista Elementary School Board. In both of those elections, I walked pretty much all of Chula Vista. The first election, I didn't even have a single mailing, and it was just signs, signs, signs. I think I got about 2,000 signs posted in 2002. And I don't even know how many in 2004, because at that point the teachers took over and they were producing signs and getting them out. There were just so many. And I met a lot of people. The value in walking door to door and the value for asking for each and every vote is you get to know your community very well. You get to fall in love with your community all over again, and it reaffirms why you do something is arduous as running for elected office. There are several reasons I'm running for city council. First and foremost, I ran for school board because there was a need for it. The teachers were unhappy, the parents weren't being listened to, and I felt that we could have a more diverse representation of the school board. But I didn't have an overall personal compelling reason to run for school board. My children are both well educated, our schools are great, and so I was just doing it more as a public service. I'll tell you, I'm running for city council because in my industry, you can't get a job in Chula Vista. And in my industry, my children's industry that hopefully they'll go into, you can't get a job in Chula Vista. When I was working for AT&T, I was one of only 2 people in our branch office that lived south of the 8. The corporate jobs in '92 when I moved here were just nowhere to be found in Chula Vista, and very rarely to be found in downtown San Diego, and have only gotten progressively more remote and more removed from our community. The high-tech jobs started to cluster around the UCSD area where they had mainframe computers and where the internet was begun. And then the biotech came along and they clustered around the bioprotein, the protein sequencers and different technologies they have up there. And then the businesses, when they no longer needed to be in the expensive Sereno Valley area or the expensive areas around universities, instead of coming south, businesses started to migrate east and north. And if you go, I just drove all the way up to Pala the other day, the Pala area of the county, and I was just shocked and amazed at how many new office buildings, full parking lots, everything that you see up the 15, and that's in the inland part of our county. Yet Chula Vista is such an amazing city. We have over 80 schools in Chula Vista. Over 60 of them are public schools. We have the world champion Little League team here in Chula Vista. We have so many smart and talented and wonderful people and families and students and grandparents and the whole package. But we all leave our city every day to find work, and we come back at night exhausted with little time to get more involved in civic life, and that's why at some of our civic events you see some of the same people over and over and over. There are about 200 people in our city that seem to be at all the events that Ed and I seem to go to, and the rest of the community is spending time with their kids because they're so busy on the freeway most of their lives. And that's something I'm trying to change. I'm in business. I'm a businesswoman. I'm in high tech. I work for a company that sells, we're like an insurance agent, but on the telecom side, we sell all kinds of carrier services to large businesses. Sony's one of our customers, Imperial Capital Bank, Penn Hall, a lot of law firms. And these are companies that are from, up in Orange County and south. And I have a lot of experience marketing to businesses and presenting designs and ideas and solutions that make it a win-win, make it help people see a good fit in whatever you're trying to propose to them. And that's something that I'd like to do for the city of Chula Vista, is actively market our city, actively market our commercial real estate space that we do have available, and invite folks to come down and take tours and see what we have to offer. And then once they're here, be more business friendly. You know, we have a whole lot, I mean, you talk to any business owner on 3rd Avenue, and they're very upset about the cost of permitting for signs, the length of time it takes to get things done, and more recently, the sales tax increase proposal that a lot of folks were felt disenfranchised from. It was rushed through. There were inaccuracies in the sales tax proposal, and Chula Vistans thought long and hard. So long and hard, in fact, that although every single Chula Vistan got a ballot, only, what, 10,000, how many people mailed them back? You know, less than 15,000 people mailed them back. Because I think they were anguished and they wanted more detail. This is a community that's voted for every single school bond that's come our way. We voted for the Southwestern College school bonds, 2 school bonds for the secondary school district, 1 school bond for Chula Vista in the last 15 years. We're a very generous community. And I think it was agonizing for people not to be able to say, you need this Chula Vista, we'll give it to you. But at the same token, I do think it's healthy that our city is tightening its belt, and people are looking for creative ways of solving problems in the city. I think that's healthy for any organization, any family. You know, my fondest times were being a starving college student and trying to figure out how to, you know, add a couple of carrots to that cup of ramen noodles, and stretch my own personal budget. And I think that it's good for a city to also relook at how we spend money before we go and ask for people to give up tax dollars and drive businesses out of our city. And speaking of economic times, these are really tough economic times. You know, during the time that they were trying to pass the sales tax ballot measure, at my son's school, the elementary school, there were 12 parents that could no longer afford to send their students to 6th grade camp. And you know, I heard countless stories of people turning off cable, people turning off their regular landline phone and going with 1 cell phone for the whole family, people doing whatever it took to make ends meet, and our city wasn't doing the same thing. So that being said, you know, I love this city, I love the people that serve our city. Our police and fire are the best in the world, our city staff and workers, they're fantastic. And they're doing as much as they can with limited resources. But these are tough times, and we're all doing what we can, and you know, we're going to get through this.